music is bringing real flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Welcome, my heart so full, I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive, we're just listening, we're existing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Anti-Stall Racing Indycar Series, race number 3 today here at Long Beach. Going to be an absolutely fantastic race tonight around this extremely tight and twisty road course. If last week's race were anything to go by, then the racing is going to be really, really close and super intense all the way through. Joining me tonight is Biggles in the commentary box with me. Hello, Biggles. Yes, they're absolutely beautiful. I mean, unfortunately, I only got it today, so this is my first time laying eyes on the actual track on my machine. But definitely gonna hop into the car and race it after this race. She also got Benoit currently setting the first hot lap of today's qualifying. He's got a purple in the first sector, which hasn't been taken for anybody else yet, and personal bests in the next two sectors. Paulo Lopez just behind, setting purples in the middle two sectors there. doesn't appear that Ben will manage to set a time there. Perhaps got a 1x or an off-track. Oh, Paulo Lopez setting the first time, the benchmark of 106.5, and Hakon just behind with 110. Alara exploiting them with a 107. Time's going in quick and fast now. It is a 20-minute long qualifying, so, you know, these guys do have quite a bit of time to go around, practice a little bit, and try and set the best lap they can. Leon Elwood putting up a 106.9. Doriano setting a 106, and Kevin Birrell, first person to the 105s. So I think the best we're possibly going to see today is low 105s by the look of that. As we do know, Paulo and Hakon from previous series that we've run, extremely fast drivers. So they're going to be pushing for those 105s now, and I don't think we're going to get into the 104s tonight. Paulo Lopez was just sat on board there to set the best lap so far, 105.7, beating Kevin Birrell's time by just over a tenth. Frankie just coming around the penultimate corner now, on his way down the home straight at a horrible, horrible chicane in the last corner that sees many a pile up in real life. It really is. Has to slow down to such a slow speed and then swing the car back and forth. It's, yeah, pretty nasty. Kevin Stamp setting a purple first sector. That's, just as he crosses the line, I don't think he beat his last time. No, he didn't, and that seemed like he just touched the wall as well. Ah, that's it, yes. Maybe I should see if there's any updates from it as well. Yes, we do, if I remember whose it was. No, they're all the same that we've had for the past couple of races. Seems we're missing a couple tonight, but I think a couple of the guys probably didn't want to drive this sort of track, or don't own it, to be honest. It's a very particular track for people to own. You know, if you don't race Indy and you don't race GT3, then you probably don't own this one. You talking about Alex? Yes. I did ask him if he was free to come and commentate today, but unfortunately he's not still, so I do keep asking. Oh, that's right, I can't see him on the list tonight. That's a good point. I know he's racing in the IMSA series, but I haven't seen him in Indycar yet, I don't think. Oh, big crash there. Yeah. Didn't catch it on my telemetry, though, unfortunately. Way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really, really close. Yep, that's right. 9 minutes remaining. Yes. As Kevin brought in lap, he touched the wall there with his left front. I didn't read the patch notes, but there's been an update out for it. So I would assume so, because it was a rather large issue. With all the yellows, yeah. Yeah. No, I just got that on my stream deck. I've got a whole page for flags, so it starts flashing aggressively to make me notice it.
So once again, these guys are going to have to learn to steer left and right.
it's going to make a change from last week.
And go and flick up through the gears a lot more, and of course,
And down again.
and a lot of heavier braking. Yes, up and down the gears. And like, where they're just basically hovering in fifth and sixth, I think it was, isn't it? In the Texas, or fifth and sixth.
Yes. Mainly 5th gear, 6th gear for a bit of a boost. Doesn't look like we're getting many purples or even green sectors in anymore. Paulo Lopez has just started his lap, so let's take a look what he's about to do. Yeah, it's a yellow sector.
Yeah, this happens too, isn't it? If you wouldn't mind going on board with Polo, let's have a look from his T-cam. Here it is. Thank you very much. Underneath the roller coaster, that's not a sure roller coaster. The head looks like it.
And a wall.
Yes, he does. And he touches the wall for sure. That'll be a retirement back to the pit lane. So he makes his way down Bay Street. About Aiden Young's the local hero here in the United States. We do have a couple of people from the drive. Aiden's not too bad actually in P6. He's representing the best of the US.
And we've got Kevin Bill at the top there.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Kevin. Yeah, I keep forgetting because Kevin is definitely
Two Kevins
performing here. Makes you feel like you're going to go to Bubba Burger, don't you? Never been to Bubba Burger. You can see the sponsors on there. Never been. I always think it's Bubba Shrimp and Co.
I've honestly never heard of it myself.
Yeah. I've never tried it. See, underneath the, once again, it looks like a roller coaster right there. It's just the sign to represent Long Beach.
Oh, I thought it was a roller coaster. Damn.
Yeah, it's not. No, that's what I mean. Don't go straight on there, of course. Up the road's been blocked off. I've never been to Long Beach, actually. I don't know why I've never been to Long Beach. I've been to many parts of California.
How slow they have to slow down for that. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a full-on hairpin turn, isn't it? I think you drop down to turn 1. But you got to get on. It's going to be very cautious to get on the power, but that's where you're going to see a lot of the overtaking opportunities. Of course, you're passing pit road right there as they're coming out.
And a very strange, long pit road it is as well. So it'll be interesting to see what pit strategy plays tonight. Of course, it will be one tyre change.
Yeah. And no push to passes? Or are we going to have push to passes?
Yes, push to passes. It's a street course.
We do have push to passes.
Yes, push to passes are only banned on the ovals. The danger rating of it, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that dangerous?
I'd imagine on an oval, you got some other guy going so much quicker than you.
True, yeah. And with the slipstream and all that. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be interesting then. I'd like it. And of course, I love the push passes. It's basically the DRS and little ERS and DRS that we have. It's the situation again. I think that's pretty much it. But we're down to about 3 minutes. It's that same situation that we see, isn't it, regularly in iRacing during qualifying. A lot of the times that great times are done pretty early, aren't they? And then, you don't get like last across the line to go the quickest generally. And I think that had been explained before as to why that happens. It's certainly going to get busy for traffic, I'd have to say, mate.
Yeah, it will.
Gerald, because you can see the track map up there to your right-hand side, and that's obviously they are qualifying, but, I mean, they're going to be bunched up, of course, and then once you have a couple people getting some damage early there, and maybe some caution cars. You got a fast repair? I believe for it. Do you have one?
I don't believe there was one last. Oh, actually, yes, there will be one. Yeah, I believe we do put one fast repair on every series we run.
So that's something everybody's going to need, maybe. I mean, you see that how far some of the drivers are pushing it. Like just a little bit of a tank slap run against the wall too. It's pretty easy to do.
Just trying to find the pace here in Powell. Let's try and dethrone Kevin from P1 there. Although it is only 1/100th of a second separating them.
See, Paulo Lopez has really shown a lot of improvement recently. Certainly towards the end of the Formula One series that we had last time. He was really starting to show a lot of improvements himself there, and Liam. Remember, they were recently, and they've come into the Formula One here. Sorry, into the Indycar and shown some good pace as well. Liam, unfortunately, at this point, is still in P14. So Australian drivers not having a great deal of fun around Long Beach at the moment. And Hagen Grebstad, our Norwegian that won the first race, road race, he's going to be one to look out for, whether he can, if he does enjoy second time around another road course. Kevin Stam's been performing quite well lately too, as well, hasn't he? You should admit there to the Dutchman.
Yeah, he usually seems to have pretty good qualifying runs, but seems to get into a bit of unluckiness in the race, shall we say. Happened to him last race, I believe, as well.
It's a Dutch courage. He drives like Max Verstappen, mate. His camera's going to be on him a lot.
Not a lot of shifting now in the timing sheets. Oh, Benoit. Here we go.
That's it.
Make it interesting.
Got to get it done now because we're down to a minute and change.
Yeah, checkered flag has been waved, so this will be his last lap. Did he improve then?
He did improve.
Yeah, he did.
He won a 106 flat almost.
But he didn't move anywhere, I think. I think he stayed P4.
Yeah. So not bad. How about Aiden? Can the flying Aiden Young get it done? 427 car. No, he's not really going to improve. Andy Tapman's not really going to improve. So just to recap the results last week for us, mate. That we, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. A week of motor racing. A lot's happened since Monday last week. Yeah, we don't have, unfortunately, Will with us here today because he's got to attend a birthday party, a family birthday party.
So
family first.
So currently in P1 in the standings is Benoit, who is currently
Benoit.
Into the wall.
That's it. Because he won the last race, didn't he?
Yeah. The points suggest he did. Yes, that's right. So
I remember interviewing. That's right. Both of the French drivers did now. If I'm not mistaken.
Just waiting for the cars to load.
Finally updated all the cars. The trading paints. That took a bit.
There we go. Qualifying results and our grid today. We've got Kevin Birrell in P1, Paulo Lopez in P2, Kevin Stam in P3, Benoit Favre in P4, Hakon Grebstad in P5, Aidan Young in P6, Doriano Ricciuti in P7, Kevin Simiand in P8, Andy Tapman in P9, Leon Elwood in P10, Sylvie Lazar in P11, Betty Fage in P12, Alex Richardson in P13, Liam Kerr in P14. In P15 we've got Zach Amador, Frankie Franchita in P16, Alaric van den Bos in P17, Robin Durmel in P18. Let's flick the page, there's the page. Carlos Fernandez P19, Matteo Limaret in P20, and Christopher Susky in P21. And see the race director there, that will be our safety car driver, who I believe is George today.
George loves driving that safety car around. Will he be driving that safety car around with 21 drivers on the grid in Long Beach? I'd have to say, chances of that would be about the chances of you having a safety car in Singapore. Pretty much 100%.
Yeah, I think there's rarely an IndyCar race here that doesn't see some sort of incident. The exits to these corners are so tight. And it's even quite common to see individuals just mess up and send it into the wall.
This would be a nice track to attend in real life.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you can't stand up on top of the car park and look over the edge of the car park and watch it as well, too. There's plenty of places around the track you could watch it. The one that's only disappointing, that's the one in the Formula 1 calendar, of course, that you can't watch trackside, is Baku. You can only watch the Baku race from a grandstand. Very disappointing.
There we go.
I think parts of the fun of watching these tracks is where you can, when you can walk around it. Like that's the thing I loved about Albert Park, man. I can walk all the way around that track, regardless of what grandstand you're. If you're in a grandstand or not, obviously, you have to walk underneath the grandstands or behind them, but you can walk anywhere around it, and it gives you a good sensation of how long the tracks are too when you do have to walk around them. Of course, we've got the anti-store racing yacht parked in the harbour. You can sail that back to the across the pond, back to the UK.
Might take a little while. With the storms going on at the minute, not sure if that's quite the safest thing to do.
You got storms out there?
Oh no, over the US.
Oh, in Florida, well, not here in California.
Well, that's the opposite coast, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
So good. It just means you have to go across the Pacific, or you could take a yacht down through the Panama Canal here if you want.
Yeah.
I'll get you a discount.
Hope no pirates get you on the way.
In fact, I think the cheapest through the Panama Canal ever was about $5, I think. Yeah, to pay.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
that was a tiny little dinghy kind of thing somebody had one time, or a rowboat.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Definitely cuts your travel time in half as well.
Yeah, I remember fishing. I've been fishing. They're just doing warm-ups at the moment, everybody. I remember going a couple of a fishing boat with mate a few times out there, and in the lake. That's a couple of lakes where the ships go through in the canal. And yeah, you're in a little tiny fishing boat, and here's this massive big shipping container pulling out right next to you. That's quite interesting.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like how massive they are until you're right next to it in a little boat. They do cruise through there all the time. Of course, they're all going to go very, very slow. They have to be piloted too by a Panamanian pilot when they go through the canal. Yep. All the canal navigation is done through a local. So whoever the captain is of the ship, like regularly, has to step aside and allow Panamanian pilot.
Oh wow!
Through the through the canal. Yep. So where they do that.
And that's the end of warm-ups now, which is why we suddenly saw that car disappear off track. And again, we have the grid on screen. So that isn't the Ansel Racing pace car, that is the inbuilt iRacing pace car. Obviously, that always does a start procedure. If we do see any incidents, then we will see the Ansel car come out, which we haven't actually seen yet this season.
Well, we did. You mean road courses?
Yeah, we haven't seen it in road courses.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the...
We saw a lot of the pace car last week.
Yeah, but it wasn't the anti-store pace car.
Turn 1s, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be very, very spicy here, of course, in that final turn. 13, I think it is.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's initially going to these turns. Now, we're going to have a rolling start, or is it a standing start?
Rolling, as always, in Indycar.
So we got some drivers sporting some new liveries or not. Having a look at...
Really enjoying Kevin
Kevin's.
Birrell's livery, actually. I like the sort of graffiti-esque thing going on the back there.
Yeah.
Really, really like that.
A little bit the pink and yellow.
Yeah.
Quite flows well. Kelly reminds me a little bit of that. Well, the new McLaren livery, of course, they had with add a little bit of pink to the orange. It kind of worked.
Oh, there's our pastel colour card, but Kevin's now controlling the pace.
Should get ready to go in a minute. And then we have green flag. We absolutely do have green flag.
Now we have green flag. He just put his foot down. Drag race with Paolo into turn 1.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial.
Crucial to hit your braking point there.
Position. There's contact.
Oh!
Still pointing in the right direction, but definitely contact between the first two drivers as they make their way around the fountain. Kind of safely, you'd have to say. So good, a little bit twitchiness from the drivers when they got some cold tires, and there's a slide there.
Oh no!
Oh, yep, that's a massive pile up. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. Will the safety car be deployed on that one? And what?
Safety car's been deployed. It's in the pit exit right now.
Yeah,
coming out.
There it is. And so that was we had a few drivers. We're going to replay of that. I think you actually caught the driver that had that little bit of a spin. Here it is. That's the proper safety car right now.
This?
Yeah, you were on the driver that just lost it.
There's that green car right there. Oh, he got a nudge.
Oh, he got, nudged.
Oh, and then I think he tried to bring it back on track and just... Sure, it was that one.
No, wasn't that? That did get back on track. It was this car.
There it is.
Wait, there it is. Yeah, lost it. Out of, and then he hits the wall, of course, nowhere to go. And then
one of the No Limits cars, if I can remember who drives the No Limits cars.
So we're going to see pit road get quite busy. Carlos Fernandez has gone in. Zach Amador's gone in. Leon's gone in. They'll do their fast repairs. Good evening there, Stevie. Now, also, you probably want to show those tyres if you can as well, too, because we do have the two compounds.
Yeah.
No doubt. As you say, there's a mandatory pit stop for the tyres. So it's all pretty evenly balanced on that one. I wouldn't have to say it was a massive difference in the tyres. The primaries, some people selecting to use those primaries, which we know can go a lot bit deeper.
Thank you, iRacing cameraman.
So Kevy survives turn 1. And the other Kevin Stam, safety car's actually hit the wall. I had it to final turn.
Oh, no.
And has backed everybody up. A safety car driver has lost it. In the final turn, and Polo's dumping into the pit lane right now. So I wonder if the safety car caused damage.
Let's just rewind that there.
From some of our drivers, because they definitely did. You could see they definitely did, yeah. See, okay, Paulo Lopez has got damage for sure. And I think Kevin Stam also got damage.
Oh.
If we can have a look behind. Yeah. So there, there's contact behind. I'm not quite sure if Kevin did get some damage there, but Paulo did. He's got a front wing missing. So he said that they're going to be pretty unhappy with that safety car, pace car driver here. And we have not seen that before. If they get a motor race with the pace car, they're just obviously struggling, that GT3 car, isn't it, to turn around that final turn? GTE car. And how is that going? I mean, obviously they have to make a pit stop anyway. But look at that. Kevin Stam and Paulo Lopez, who were running second and third, now running 18th and 19th because they had to fix those cars. Fix their cars, and that's 10.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
taken a.
it's happened in real life.
Their fast repairs gone now. They've used it. So interesting.
Yeah, nailed it that time. At least there's another 50. What is it? My God, maths. 57 laps to sort this out.
Yes. And so far right now, it looks like that we've had actually a couple more drivers are coming in now too. So Frankie's coming in, Robin's coming in, Mateo's coming in. Down a pit road. 4 drivers now. Somebody else. So at least there, Kevin Stam and Paulo Lopez will get their way back up to 14th and 15th. I wonder if these other drivers also got some damage under that safety pace car as well when they backed up. Well, now a Frenchman is up at a P2.
Yeah, Benoit.
From
So
last
that's
week.
fantastic for his points. The points that he's already got have put him into P1 in the championship so far. Probably use this moment to take a look at the rest of those points, because in P2 is Benny Fage.
Oh, and the safety car still can't get around that final corner. He hit the wall again. The pace car's peeled in now. So I think with green flag conditions racing again, yes, so we do. This time around, at least, he did kind of get out of the way to allow this race to get on with it, and didn't cause any issues. But look at that. Massive attack at the moment there between
3 wide.
Harkin. Yeah.
Kevin Burrell got a massive, massive jump on him there, clearly. Very quick into the fountain section.
They did all somehow survive in those same positions there from a 3 wide. This is where you got to be really, really cautious. Of course, be very gingerly on that throttle pedal. And you get the temperature up into those tires now. And I wouldn't take any crazy risks with 55 laps to go at the moment. And we do have Frankie that's gone in the pit lane, the race director's in pit lanes. Race director's actually fixing that car right now. The pace car's been fixed.
Oh dear.
They had to do some repairs on the front end.
Well, hopefully it means it'll be able to steer a bit better into the last corner.
Exactly. And I don't think you get any fast repairs for the pace car.
Probably saving it just in case he has a worse crash, I would have thought, because I think everybody gets 1 at least.
I also have 10 push-to-passes that are available for them this evening at the moment. A couple of drivers, believe it or not, Kevin's just burning a fuel at the moment. He's already used 3 of them to try to get that lead that he had.
Yep, so they're displayed on the screen now, and if you see them go red, that means the driver in question is using their push-to-pass.
Bit of a battle you can see brewing right here with Alec van der Bos, Alec Richardson, Benny Furge, Benny.
And Liam Kerr as well, your guy.
Yep. Powerhouse Australian.
So important to be cool and collected while getting chased around this one, because one slip up, one look in the mirrors at the wrong time, and you're in the wall.
Yeah, and the rear end of that corner can just really slip out on you. And especially in that final corner. Here's a run.
It's Alex.
No, probably a little bit too far back.
Using
push to pass.
pass. Yeah, he used push to pass then. Tried to, but Liam Kerr seemed to have a bit more power in his car then. Don't know how he managed to do that and keep him away.
Yeah, that's the Australian driver in the blue car that is currently running him. in P8. He's gained 6 positions, of course, because he was managed to keep that nose clean so far. Further upfield as well, too. You've got still the battle for.
Oh, bit squirrely. Crash in the background.
Was that?
That was Benny Phage.
Phage.
Take a look what happened in here in our glorious slow-mo.
Now, was that Benny by himself? He got a much better exit out of that corner. And then, I'm trying to think where it is. Is he gone into there? No, that was the car ahead.
Oh, no.
Any other person get contact? Yes, there was as well. That's 3. Now, they deemed it race director is not coming out because it's still fixing that car.
It was only a 2-car crash, so
yeah.
Don't usually put...
It was 3.
Yeah.
Third car got involved.
Any idea who that car was? Let's take a look at who it was there. Was it Carlos? No.
It was a contact here between Liam Kerr and
Liam's
had to lift off there and keeps the rear end, saves it.
Good save.
Live to see another day. Alex just used a push to pass then too to get past him. You can see the gap that he has, and there is a 10-second post-race penalty for car number 63.
63 is
Kevin.
Kevin Simeon Bassoni.
Bassoni, the French driver, currently running P13. Liam goes in the pit lane.
Yeah, Liam's pitted.
What if he had some damage?
Yeah, I mean, slapping the tyre barrier like he did, he definitely will have some damage. Hopefully he didn't slap it too hard on the rear tyres, because shunting a drive shaft is one way to have irreparable damage in these cars.
Further up, the battle between P2 and P3 is brewing, as well as Kevin. There they are, the top 3 you can see on your screen. Benito has definitely got some pace. He had one of the fastest laps just before. He's just trying to make sure he's keeping Kevin just there and not letting him too far away. And that's Mr. Haken Grebstab there running in P3 just there. And that's slowly in the background. There is our Italian driver in the 14 car. Starting to gain on this pack as well, but he's about 2 seconds down the road. Push to pass being used right now for Grebstab. Just making sure he's keeping him within that half a second time delta. So those push to passes used early there for Kevin have not worked, but they have kind of, he got that gap, but now he's just struggling to try to pull the Frenchman away. He can't. Frenchman's now gaining him pretty quickly here, and believe it or not, but Benito has not used a single push to pass yet. He's got 10 available. I think this could be the time where he's going to start to use one soon if you're going to exit out of 13 and get it done.
Yeah, I think he's going to break it down to maybe like a couple of tenths and then use it.
And they're going to be getting in traffic soon too if we get that track map back up in a second.
Yeah, totally. Or he might
see where they are.
He might try to sail behind for a little while, save a bit of fuel.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to use it. If he hasn't used it here now, and he's not intending on using it down the main straightaway.
Yeah, plenty of time of the race left. I mean, you've got another 50 laps.
Yeah. And they're going to be approaching traffic soon too.
Got a crash from Liam Kerr on my telemetry here. Let's go quickly take a look at that.
Now, this is Liam's come out of the pit lane just before. And this is just down the main straightaway, so I don't think there's any problems here unless he locks up into turn 1.
Oh, okay, I think it was
that's net code. Oh, net code.
Net code into the wall.
Yeah, we have had that, unfortunately, from Liam before because of this, just the connection to Australia causes some issues, and Liam, we've spoken to Liam before about that in the past, isn't it? Like, the net code works at the worst possible time, isn't it? I mean, especially on this track, as you're going to be turning into a corner.
Yeah, and especially on cars this fast as well.
So it's very unfortunate for Liam. He just went into pit lane too, so he's going to have to probably go back into pit road again, and no more fast repairs. It's the pace car still being repaired. Bit of contact on the wall there from Harkin. Grab stab, which you saw exiting it out of the corner there. It's only just a tap of the rear right. Rear left. Yeah, you can really see how tricky it is getting. It's slippery, slidey. That's what motor racing's all about, especially in this track. These tyres aren't really that old yet. You know, there's 48 laps remaining. They've only done 12 laps, so I can't imagine that the tyres are too worn yet to cause that much of an issue. But maybe seeing all drivers starting to do that there on these red stripe boots, then maybe they are. And this will be the traffic up the road that they're going to start to catch soon. And I believe that's Matteo running in P14. Probably about to get lapped soon. Now, you get blue flags, do you? Like you regularly will?
No, that is advisory.
Yeah, so Matteo has to get out of the way. It doesn't have to, but they're going to be going, obviously, through this inner tricky section, of course, the technical sector 1. Now, it's going to be thinking about an overtake here on the Frenchman. And he goes for it. There. Not yet. That's the 52 car, of course, leading this one. That is the traffic up the road of Matteo. Matteo is on the inside. So that should be pretty easy. Matteo is going to commit to this corner, but he will. So he's not actually letting him through at all. He's still racing, remember, so he's not a lap down.
Probably let them pass on the main straight now.
Yeah. Will he do it on the main straight? No, he's committing to the middle. No, Matteo is not. It's going to be interesting. You can't pass on the outside here unless you do cut back. Yeah, this is going to definitely be frustrating it. Absolutely, because, you know, you can see Flavia really wants to get past Kevin more so than anything. And believe it or not, that's actually allowed now the other 14 car to catch this pack. It's slowing them all, bunching them all up together. This lead that they have crumbled, and I think still can't find a way past Matteo. No, it's push to pass used too for Kevin. Sorry, for the French driver there.
Kevin's really been trying with this push to pass to get around.
Yeah. Oh, this could be an inside. Yeah, keep an eye out for the green car out there, everybody. That's the 759 car. He's the one currently running in P2, and he is looking pacey, but every single time he's going off the racing line to try to get an overtake done, it's just costing him too much exit speed. You got to wonder at the moment if Kevin's going to risk using a push to pass to get past currently Matteo.
He did last lap.
He's down 6 to 6 of them now. I've still got 45 laps remaining. You don't really want to be having to burn them all, aren't you, to try to get past what inevitably is a slower car. That's what I do love about the fact of, you know, well, lap cars. Once again, they're not a lapped car, but because Matteo still is in the race. He's in P14.
Just a little steward here joining the session.
Yes. How was that safety car, my friend?
Well, that was not me.
Oh, you're not driving. Yeah.
I was not. I was just a steward, keeping an eye out for everything.
All right.
It's actually been quite clean.
The safety car is being repaired in the pit lane, I believe, at the moment. Anyway,
I didn't see any damage to it.
All right.
Yes.
So how's the situation from the stewarding? Just an early one I saw.
I'd have to say it's relatively clean. Of course, there's been some penalties and some carnage, especially on that one. But otherwise it's been somewhat clean. We are still going green, so it's better than expected.
And some drivers had damage at the moment. It looked like it was both Kevin Stam and Paulo Lopez both got damage when the safety car bended into that final turn, and they got front wing damage and stuff like that. So they had to use their fast repairs and their pits. So I'm sure they're not going to be 100% happy with.
Yeah, there was a little bit of carnage spike. It was at the end of the field, yeah. But that's what happens when you go around a street circuit, isn't it? So was a little on the edge when you go, especially the final corner. There, it's always horrible, isn't it? As the safety car demonstrated. Doesn't matter how slow you want to go.
Only the one car that you issued a penalty. I think that was a 63 car.
63,
I think.
yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so Harkin's come in right now. I believe. No, my apologies, Kevin. Our essentially was the race leader. Has gone in. I think he just got absolutely tired of being held up there at the moment behind Matteo.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's probably a wise decision, isn't it? Because now you can get in clean air and pump in some fast laps there, and hopefully when these other drivers come in, you're going to be straight past them.
Not only that, as a strategic call, this back marker here is slowing down the rest of the pack, which means he gets a better pit stop.
Yes, that's true.
It's almost like when the cars get held by a safety car, you practically get a free pit stop.
So I wonder why they're not. Oh, we go.
Oh, wow.
He's got to give it everything he possibly can to finally get past Matteo. And in fact, the other driver in the background there, that's the Italian driver, is going to also do the same thing. Or it's Harkin, sorry. No, Harkin can't. Actually, he did go side by side. There it is. Matteo's lifted off now and actually allowed two of them through. 3. Matteo's lifted off big time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's had a warning through the radio or something.
Neil, do you think there was a warning or something like that from Matteo? Because he was leading all these drivers. Well, obviously, trying to prevent himself from being lapped.
I actually jumped away from the steward, so I'm not in contact with them anymore, sadly.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help you guys out.
Oh, he's gone straight on. Couldn't turn it inside. Now he's going to flip it all the way around. That's going to have to back up our French driver. He was essentially leading the race right now. One little tiny mistake after all that they've been doing, isn't it?
The brake magic
Just
moment.
Snatched to brake, yeah, but lucky there's a runoff area there. Even the best in the world do that. I mean, Lewis Hamilton did that in Singapore, so...
Yeah, and he did even worse, didn't he? He actually managed to hit the wall, but completely right.
Well, Max Verstappen massively locked up.
Indeed, but I could imagine it's a bit more tricky when you have a slippery surface and tires that are probably not that optimal.
Any ideas of how far you can how deep you can go on these red strap tires?
No, I'm not much of an Indycar driver myself, so I have no idea. But I could imagine they should probably be able to last a bit more, shouldn't they? 18 laps in, we are just about a quarter into the race. I think we'd wait a little bit before we start seeing the other pit stop. We have had some people pit at the beginning, just as the pit window opened again, right? But as you mentioned, there was some carnage, some people having incidents, getting some kind of damage. That might have been it, but I'm not too sure about that one. I didn't get... it was not the tactics I was looking at when I was helping stewarding.
Well, Kevin Birrell has now pumped in those fast laps once he cleared all that traffic that you'd mentioned there at the moment, Gerald. Like, his last lap did at 107.29. And he's the first of the leaders that have made their mandatory pit stops. And I think that clean air as Harkin Grebstad now comes in. Aiden Young now comes in from P2 and P3. This means right now that Kevin will be able to drive all the way past him down the main straightaway without a problem and get himself back up into, I believe, P5 it will be now, which will still be our net leader, especially by doing those fast laps. He got out of that. I think that was a wise decision, as you mentioned. He got out of that initial pack. They were caught up there behind our French driver of Matteo, and now by pumping in some of those quick laps. Come think of it now, how much time he is really behind. Let's say the French driver that he was really, really close battle with, but I think with Benito making that mistake and going straight on, that definitely cost him about 5 seconds or so to that lap, if not more. So there we are.
Thinking a little bit, Biggles. Here you seem to be the the Indycar man to speak to a counter tactic, smart man like you. We saw some guys a little early on. I think it was when Bill was leading the race. He was behind. Oh, who was it? A back marker that was trying to stay on the lead lap. As hard as you could.
Yeah, that was Matteo. Yep.
Yeah, it's a long train of guys. They're just being packed up. And then
and there it is. So that's the pit lane. Sorry, just to cut you off there. That Kevin goes straight past there, Benito. Benito's still in the pit lane, and Benito will come out, and Harkin will get past Benito as well. Grab stab. So sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but was a little touch in the wall there from Bill, and unsure, just looked like it. But the tire life, do you think that they some of the guys behind could have gone in, went for another tire? Because of course, if you come out into clean air, there's a lot of lap time to be gained if the leader is fighting a back marker that's trying to defend for his life. Or are your tires simply going to drop off too much?
I'm still not 100% sure about that. I only started recently casting a lot of IndyCar series.
Because that's another consideration that
Paulo Lopez right now on Sylvia Lazar, I think.
Yep.
Lovely little ball here by Lopez and Lazar,
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
Lopez
on the outside, it's going to be a very tight corner here.
Yeah, if he can hold it and get the exit, he will. But he might be under a little bit of pressure down the main straightaway here.
Yeah, Lazar should probably get a better exit.
You're going to use a push to pass. They both are using push to passes, as well as Ian Young in the background here. So not giving up, of course, the Frenchman. Absolutely going to commit to this. He's going to have to swing it around the outside. Can Paulo make that car stick and to do the switchback? Paulo has timed it perfectly. I think it's the Portuguese driver back in position. Remember, he was running second in this race for some time until that little bit of an incident and that with that safety car caused the front wing damage, but he's made his pit stop. He's back. Obviously, he's going to be running a lot longer on these tires as he boxed back on lap 17. Wait, has he been back in the pit road again? Was that wrong? I thought their back blocks a lot earlier than that. No, he has been in the pit lane twice.
All the good questions. I'm just a little one for the viewers out there. We see on the left side the standings. We have A and P, and that's tire compound. Is that correct, Biggles?
Yes.
And what does that mean? Can you give us more?
Softest teammates behind the background there making an overtake behind Paulo. That's the teammates, of course, of Benito and Sylvia. Now, actives, I can't remember what the A means again. I keep forgetting.
Alternative.
What's that?
Alternatives.
Alternatives in the primaries. There you go. As the alternatives are a bit quicker than the primaries. Just like your softs and mediums.
Formula 1 term, it's the soft and the hard.
Softs and the hards, yes. I don't think there's a massive difference in pace spot between the alternatives, like as much as softs and hards in Formula 1.
It's just a little bit. But do we have to go and switch tire compounds when we go and do our pit stops here?
Yes, you do.
Yes, one mandatory change.
Sometimes, unfortunately, in iRacing, it doesn't show you like what we've sometimes the tires you actually see on the cars don't always reflect the telemetry on the tower. There's a little bit of an issue with that's been occurring, but I think at the moment everything visually looks good.
As we had I think we have had a similar bug with our F1 series. Or all of the F1
yes,
cars.
we did as well, too, because remember, I think Aiden Young was, it didn't show for one of those races, didn't we, like last season? He didn't He didn't. It looked like he didn't do any tire changes, but he did. As
I
Hakan.
remember we had a few incidents as well. It's a bit unfortunate, but Hakan kept that here, trying to go around the outside. Also, really close to hitting the tire barrier there. And that was that for position on Alric? That
Yes, it was.
A lovely move by Hakan.
Remember, he's a championship leader, Hakan, so he needs to. But he's made a second pit stop now. And he only just recently did that on lap 21, so whatever he has, he should have enough fuels and tire to go to the end. But we think 35 laps to go. Could that be a nice strategy for him? Pays off later.
Hakan, of course, a big name here in ASR. He's not only done the Indycar series, he's done
keep an eye on P5 if you could go at the moment there, please. Right here, there's the battle. Sorry to cut you off from that one because we do have Paulo Lopez, of course, and then Benito, a French driver. So they got at it too for now. They're at it. Nieto just set the fastest lap on that last lap there, as well as Paulo Lopez, not too far behind. So this is a great 5th and 6th, essentially. You're probably looking at a podium position because we still have to have the top 3 drivers. We'll have to box at some point.
Yeah, I thought Lopez would have been gone
Alex
when he took him a couple laps ago. But definitely not scrapping away these two guys. Incredible.
And they're burning through some of those push to passes as well. 5 and 6 remaining for these two drivers that we're watching. Considering we are getting to about halfway through the race, that's probably not too bad to have the rest of those. Alex Richardson's going in because it's one of the top 3 that haven't yet to make a pit stop, so they're going to pass him no problems as they make their way down the main straightaway. Alex is just entering his pit box right now, and yeah, he's probably coming out of his pit box in a minute, but he's going to lose out to Paulo Lopez, of course, going to lose out to the French driver, and Aiden Young, maybe. It's going to be close, actually, but they do come out of pit road right there. There he is, so you can see. So Aiden Young did manage to scrape on by there, Sylvia, and Alex Richardson. So that means now that Donario leading this race currently at the moment, and Andy most likely going to come out, if they time it right, they could come out ahead of with Aiden Young right here in this battle. Aiden and Sylvia. That's what you want to be doing, because we just know that Alex Richardson, that was just behind them down the road, is going to be behind these guys. So if you are the Italian right now, Andy's in the pit lane, so this is going to be interesting. Andy Tatman is going to come right out around somewhere around here, depending on his pit times. Does he want to? If he's quick enough, they'll come out ahead of that battle. You'd hope so for him. Otherwise, he's going to be tucked in right next to them. Keep an eye on that track map, because that's where Sylvia's the 6th. And I think I don't know if he's going to come out in time now. Will he? Here he is. He's going to clear him. He should.
Very close. So close.
Yeah. I was going to be happy with that one, Andy. I figured that with the pit stop before. That's what actually did help him, I think, by Alex going into pit road.
See that rear end there?
Yeah. He's going to get the temperature up to his tires, and that's a slide, and that's there's nowhere to go for the car behind as well.
Andy, that's so unfortunate.
Problem.
Should have kept his brakes held.
Yeah. Okay. And now look at this too. Our race leaders now come in. So the Italian. And this is actually going to help out the Italian because of everybody having to go slow now with that incident with Andy. I think that Denario should be out in. We'll keep an eye on that track map. He should be out pretty easily ahead of him. Yes, he is. I think.
Which means that Doriano here has had an absolutely fantastic racing strategy.
He has, yeah. Because now he's come back out and he's ahead of the French driver, and he's just behind our race leader. So by staying out 1 minute longer than everybody else and just keeping his nose clean, the old dog racing team, pretty clever, I'd have to say. They've done great strategies before, didn't they, in the first race? I remember too in Indianapolis.
Looks like you can teach old dogs new tricks.
Mm-hmm. You can. Kevin now should be. We did know. Remember, Benito had that that off moment. Remember when he went straight, but still, and he himself he's been battling right now. Paulo Lopez, the 88 car running in P4. Another big gain of course, this Italian driver's gained 5 places at the moment, and another big gainer is the
Robin Durmel.
number 5 car,
12.
Robin, yeah, number 5, yeah, 12 positions gained. So
right
just keeping it out of the wall for the I can't see the racing team, the Darkin racing team. Oh, it goes in the pit lane right now. So, but he had made a pit stop before, but elected to make another one now. I'm wondering if we are seeing a 2-stop pit strategy at least for all the drivers. It's gonna be interesting.
Potentially, has anybody not stopped yet?
No, they've all stopped.
That was the last one, that was, yeah.
Oh, Aiden missing a front wing.
So he is. I didn't catch what happened there.
Well, that's where I think that's the front wing. Remember where the other car that's behind him, I think Andy Tapman went around?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, and Aiden has unfortunately hit him because there was nowhere to go.
So he's gonna.
And Aiden's just selected to keep going on this.
Looks like it.
I think it already passed the pit lane before.
He's going to be understeering like mad in some of these corners, though.
Yeah, I'm amazed he can still keep the pace there on Andy Tapman, but Andy Tapman might have damage himself too.
Then
So
again,
he did hit the wall.
with slower speed corners, like a lot of these corners on this track, it relies on mechanical grip a lot more than aero.
But you're
True.
just trying to figure out if the stewards will be calling him in for a meatball here. It's technical difficulties. Yeah, and of course, if it was Formula 1, he would already have been called in. Can't even have an end plate hanging loosely.
He'd be in the fence. If he was in Formula 1 at that
I think he
pace,
would be in the fence as well.
especially in a track like this.
Yes, but I don't think anybody would like anyone to end up in the fence and then have a driver right behind him.
His last lap
seems like
was
he's actually doing pretty well.
Well, the last lap was a 109. Okay, Andy was a 110. A lot of the other drivers that are behind him are around the 109s as well. And 110s. So, and I mean, he's really the best of the rest of, I'd say, of pace. Because even Silvio, the French driver that's just up the road from him, was almost the same, actually a little bit slower than Hayden was in the last lap.
Yeah, still managed to keep that piece exactly 2 hits.
Apart from the race leaders at the moment, all the other ones at the top of the time sheet, they're all in the 107s, okay? But yeah, so I wondered, there's so many cars nursing damage. Either that or Aiden's just really loving missing a front wing.
I don't think he's aware at this point.
Andy Tapman using push to pass right now.
Go for it. Little logo.
Yeah, he got it.
Very late die there from Andy. Amazing.
I think Aiden just couldn't turn it in time and realized it's not worth this fight.
Oh, a few difficulties with missing a half a front wing. A shot, I guess.
Interesting, the different racing lines some of the drivers take through theirs. Tricky turns. It's a little bit of a lock up into 13. I think it's corner number 13. Really not sure.
Just to go back to Håkon, where is he? He's in P9 right now, so he's made up a little ground. He's a known name around the different road series that we have in ASR. He of course had to participate in the oval race we had last Monday. Probably not the greatest race, but I don't think it was a good race for anyone. Got to show that one. That was special.
It was
do
a
you
good
think
race for
that
the
he
French
will
drivers.
be? Oh yeah, they got 1, 2, something like that. They had
2 and 3. 3 and 4.
Pretty good positions.
1 and 3.
That's right. But do you think he will be aiming to get like better position in these road races than in the oval races? And then, as we see Fernandez going a bit wide.
Yep.
Letting other cars.
And it's the old Minardi livery. Minardi Guzjet on the side of it. Forza Minardi. Carlos Fernandez. Of course, I mean, I think Harkin's going to try to get as much possible place as he can in this one. We don't know. He could also be good on other ovals. He might not just select that particular Texas. But the disappointing thing at the moment, it's quite interesting, is Kevin Stam, who was right up the top of the timesheets there, is now a lap down running in P15, and Liam Kerr a lap down running in P17. Oh, they're actually out. My apologies, they're out of the race completely.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Kevin's driving anymore. There's only 14 cars left after the 21 starters.
Yeah, but that's pretty normal on a road course. It's like a tight road course like this.
Yes, of course, but it's never fun to see people retiring from...
So an overtake it up the road there. I think it was in the...
They were going pretty close to each other, side by side. So we get to go on board with, or follow Håkon at least. He's made up another ground, another position on a French driver of Duhamel.
Yep.
Is that how you pronounce that one?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. He's doing a little better. Was down to P14 just a couple laps ago. I think helped a little bit by all the pit stops that was happening simultaneously. But P8, it's a pretty good position. He's got 10 seconds up to the next guy. Trying to figure out, are we halfway through the race? Just about 34 laps in. So plenty of time to try and make up even more ground. I think it's just a safety car, and then boom, he's stopped and running again. Of course, he has to. From the look of things, he needs to unlap himself again. Is that correct? Håkon being a lap behind P4 and 5. I said I only have the standings to go from here.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. 1 sec.
Yeah. Well, it's usually in iRacing terms, the names mean that you are a lap behind, or that the guys in front of you are a lap in front.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually, you would see that behind you.
Yeah, it looks like top 4, maybe. Yeah, that's right.
What's happened here?
Oh,
that was Kevin Burrell having a pit
Is he
stop.
just pitting?
Yeah, he was pitting.
Yeah. Oh, that's his box. So he has made another pit stop. So 2-stop could very much be the strategy now. 25 to go.
But isn't that pretty early for Kevin? He pitted on, was it around 15 to 20?
Yes, 17.
He did that long ago.
I think it was.
Well, if he's
have
gone
to do
back
more than
on
20 laps now.
to primaries, then he can make it, and he has gone on to primaries. So I think he's going to push to the end now.
Yeah, we don't know about fuel.
Very true, actually.
If they had enough to go or not.
I mean, it's 25 laps. I would have thought that he'd be able to get 25 laps in.
I wonder if you can get anybody like Kevin or somebody and have a quick chat to us about some of those drivers that have retired at the moment to have a chat to us.
I'll take
We could try and get a hold of Leon.
Yeah, you can.
If he was out on lap 1, unfortunately, but always has to get some inside views from.
Yeah, exactly. If you can, because that's what we need to hear from the drivers out there.
See if we can do some magic.
See if you can pull them in. If, of course, they want to happy to have a chat to us. Kevin's now burning those push to passes, so he's just putting the bankers down. He's only got 2 left now for the remainder of the race. 2 push to passes. He's clear air. I'd expect this lap at the moment there from Kevin, once it's gone up to his tyres up in the temperature of that pit stop, I would imagine that he is going to be the fastest man on the track.
I think Leon is busy steering right now. Unfortunately, we could also just drag someone down from the chat on the Discord, so I don't think they'll be too happy about that one.
Why don't you pop in and if you like, if you can pop in and have a quick chat to them, and just ask if somebody. Well, there's not a lot of action happening, of course, stewarding, but if they would like to come have a quick chat to us, because we want to have these questions answered about the tires and fuel.
Well, we can try. We can try. It's just that I've bad experience with going around a track where you have to concentrate a bit more than some of the other tracks, and then suddenly you lose concentration and boom, there's a wall. Particularly thinking about some Bathurst races I've had. It's not always fun. But we'll see. Kevin Stam is out. He should be available. He's not a busy man.
Yeah, grab him. It's a requirement for the Anti-Stall Racing that you have to come for a chat to us.
I did just...
you get an interview instead.
Yeah, I did just drop some things towards Indycar.
Yeah, it's fine. If they can, that would be great. It is in the contract, of course, media obligations. Said with Anti-Stall Racing. Sylvia's come back out now on his pit stops from the number 11 car running in P9. And I'm just trying to keep an eye on Kevin's last lap time. It's a 108, so he's still trying to get the temperature up into those primaries. I think we got a hard no from Neil. Kevin, I mean.
I'm always up for an interview. So tomorrow, I think I've been half promised a spot in the TCR race.
Mm-hmm. Haken's going into the pit lane right now. So Haken grabs that. So definitely it's a two-stopper, I think. Only three drivers have yet to make their second stops. And that's the Italian driver, Denario, who was doing a brilliant job of that race strategy for the 14 car to get himself right up to the crucial podium positions. But can he do it? Can he stay out on Benito and Paulo still? Well, Paulo's made 2 pit stops now, but Benito only 1. We don't know if he's going to make it to the end or not, as well as our current race leader at the moment, you can see up the top. So that's interesting. And if they can't stay out again, Kevin Birrell will be back in the lead of this race. Whether or not Paulo Lopez...
From Alex.
Paulo Lopez boxed pretty early, but that's the thing, the Portuguese driver. But for his second stop, he boxed on lap 17, so I don't think he's going to be able to make it go to the end.
Alex Richardson here chasing down Carlos Fernandez and actually gaining time, so I think we're going to see a fight ring very soon.
Well, it's motor racing in Long Beach, of course. That's one of the quickest, one of the closest battles you can see on track at the moment. That is Alex Richardson, currently running in P10 in that green livery there. And that's your Minardi driver in the Marnie livery of Carlos Fernandez, currently running in P9, trying to defend his 22 car from the attack. That's why he's number 7 car from the attack of the 22 car of Alex. Carlos Fernandez has started and gained 10 places at the moment for the Spaniard. However, he did box on lap 28, so it should be okay to go to the end. Alex using push to pass right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Just gonna see if he's gonna have enough of a run to get anything done. Doesn't look like it. He'll have to stay back a little bit.
Here we go. Someone's gonna happen now.
Oh, he does actually go for it up the inside. Alex, and he's clearly
Yeah,
passed.
we've got to make it stick, but that's the thing right there. He does.
Yeah, he had a way greater one than I initially thought that he would have. So Fernandez now being demoted down to P10.
He did hit push to pass for that though, so he's now down to 3, and Fernandez behind him is still at 8.
108. I know. So you could say that Fernandez is just biding his time at the moment. Of course, you probably want to start using them soon, at least one or two. But the Spaniard.
Yeah,
It just
the
seems a
race is lapping
little...
towards the end. 20 laps left, roughly.
Yes.
Not sure what.
They're good pace from both of them. They're lapping in the 109s, the mid 109s, and that's essentially what the midfield have been doing. The leaders have been really lapping in the 108s.
Aiden Young actually is still doing pretty great with his half
Missing front wing,
I
yes.
think he did have a pit. Let's go take a look. Yeah, he did pit, so he has fixed it now.
He did box. Yeah.
But he was running for a very long time without it. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, and doing 109s. Mid 109s.
It's actually considering how much aero you lose by not having 50% of your front wing. That's pretty impressive. Being able to keep up as well as
keeping it out of the
Aiden
fence.
has done.
It's very, I mean, very, very wise from the young man, the young American, because he knows just bringing this car home in a race like this is all about the crucial points in a championship, you know, overall season. Okay, the Italian's gone in, so
yes, he
Denario
has. Spotted
has
that.
decided that he can't make it to the end. This is going to be interesting because I don't know if Paulo Lopez could make it as well. Or Benito.
Well, and how's Kevin doing?
Bueno.
Kevin Beal.
Oh, there, Paulo's coming in.
20 seconds behind.
So yeah, definitely that's got to answer the question now that everybody had to make a two-stopper. I don't think the Frenchman's going to have to box anytime soon. Kevin now is going to have a smile on his face because I think here he is here, Kevin Birrell. And where is he currently at the moment? You can see on the track map he's the number 4 car in the 4 position there. That's 2 exiting the pit lane.
Well, it's going to be tight, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, he hasn't jumped him. So that's, yeah. The Italian's done it again, my friend. Time that's just pit stop perfectly. And
An Italian with a good strategy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And there is Paul. So there is Paulo Lopez. So Paulo Lopez will lose out to Andy Tubman. But Andy Tubman, he probably has to box again because his last pit stop was on lap 26.
Yes.
That's going to be a stretch.
It'll be interesting to see if...
The French driver's coming in. So our race leader's coming in. This is going to be interesting. Where is he going to come out to De Niro and Kevin right now? Again, keep an eye on that track map then. That's the 1 dot in the pit lane garage you can see there. Hasn't got into his box yet. Or has he? No,
not yet.
Hasn't got into his box yet. No.
Right at the front.
So there's his box there. Now keep an eye on the 2 dot and the 3 dot as they're coming down the main straightaway now. Now, the thing is too, Kevin's... Sorry, yep. Yeah, Kevin can get out because he's right at the entrance. And he got to get on the power now. He's going to lose that place, actually. Going to lose both of them, I think. There they go. 1 and 2. You can see on the picture there. So that's Denario and Kevin. And there's the French driver right now. He's going to have clear track because Andy's not even coming around the corner there yet. And there it is. So now, time to get earn your paycheck, get your head down, put some flying laps in. You got 16 of them.
A crash by Paulo Lopez.
Oh no. It's a little bit too far back from Andy Tubman, so this is probably just going to be...
Probably concentrating on the car ahead and missing his braking points slightly, I would have thought.
Yeah, slim that bang.
That's very
Just
common to
throwing it
see
a
even in the
little
real
too
Indycar.
That's a hard rear suspension brake there, probably. Well, how's that for the Italian, my friend? Denario, what a strategy so far. But he has to hold off Kevin Birrell now. Kevin, that started in pole position, is what is he looking at? 3.5 seconds down the road there from Ricciardo. You know, I probably...
And how does it look on push to passes?
We got 7 versus 1, so Kevin only has 1 left. The Italian has 7 up his sleeve.
Really tricky for
He should
Kevin.
be able to just burn him if obviously Kevin does start to pull him in. He's going to burn those push to passes down the main straight. Paulo Lopez unfortunately has to go in and repair that 88 car too from a little bit of a snack against the wall. Welcome back to the hot tub bots, which have been deleted again.
Yep, caught those quickly.
I can't believe that Google hasn't caught that one. These have been going around a while now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And to think who actually ever, you can't click on them, of course, because there's no clickable link, but who actually ever bothers with any of that? They're all spam bots. I mean, how successful are they? They can't be successful at all.
I mean, who needs any of that at all when you've got racing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paulo Lopez now sending some pretty big repairs there, a minute and change for the Portuguese driver. Alex is coming in and out of the pit lane, Alex Richardson, so he's got his final stint. I'd say everybody else. Eddie Tapman, we think he might have to box again from P4. Thinking he will. As for everybody else, no. Not now. I think everybody else is good to go to the end. If they've stretched their fuel, we don't know if fuel's a big problem, or the tyres.
Have Young had 2 pit stops as well?
Who?
Aiden Young?
Yeah, Aiden Young did, yep.
Yeah, okay. That's a bit of a coincidence they came together.
Yeah, this push to pass is being used right here, right now. You can see from both the drivers, Benny and Harkin. And that's Carlos Fernandez. That's getting overtaken there for the Minardi Ozjet team. Actually, yeah. And I don't know if he's nursing issues. It just looked all too easy. And the thing is, too, for Carlos, is he has 8 push to passes. He's electing not to use any of them. Even for the defense right now. So, is he aware out there? He's used a couple of them before. He must be aware that he has the advantage of them. But why is he waiting? I'm just curious, because you've got about 13 laps to go. What is he waiting to use them for? Because it's a lot easier, I'd say,
maybe you'll start to forget about them if you have that.
Yeah, well, it's one thing. He could be using them right now to defend, because it's going to be a lot harder, I'd say, to overtake.
Yeah, Håkon all over the back of him.
Yeah, and then also you got it catching in the background, of course, is our one of the Mad Dogs. Unless that's actually our leader.
Would like to
that is actually our race leader at the some Mad Dog in the background catching this pack, which is going to be bad, of course, for Dario, because that's actually allow Kevin back into play here. If they get caught, they are going to get caught behind this pack right here. Because I don't think at the moment it's going to be even difficult, because you've got to remember Harkin and Carlos, they don't need to move over. They're on the lead lap. They don't need to move over and allow the leader through in the background there, because they want to battle themselves. And you just move over in the wrong place at the wrong time here, you're going to lose that position. It's good. It's a good fight. You can see Carlos is now putting... I was surprised why Carlos didn't put up too much of a fight there to Benny that got past him just before. That's surprising. And he's not using a push to pass. Haken is using a push to pass here to try to get an overtake. And he does. He does get past Carlos. So Carlos didn't use a single push to pass now. I wonder if he's nursing some damage in the Spaniard, or he did not get the memo from the team that you have 7 push to passes to go. He's not even using one right now to defend against the race leader. No,
he's going to be overtaken once again. Of course, it's the race leader, so there's not much to do if you're already a lap down this far into the race, but he's got to start thinking about it soon, isn't he?
Yeah,
it's losing a lot of ground to guys that he should be able to keep up with.
Know anything about it out there as to what's going on? I mean, it does look like he might be nursing a little bit of damage in that car, because it just... Carlos, it just looked like he's struggling with it. He doesn't have the pace as what everybody else is around him. We know he does have the pace earlier in the race. And look at the gap he's dropped behind him now too. I mean, he's got 3 seconds now behind to Hakan. That's right here. After that, and they were just on the lap before. They were all bunched up together. So that's something interesting.
Maybe he's just saving them all for the final lap.
Andy Tapman and Robin, they have 9 push to passes between them. But the thing is, 11 laps to go. So when are you going to start to use them? Somebody's in the pit lane in the background. That's Carlos Carlos has gone into the pits now. So was he just saving something, or did he have damage? I mean, it's something unusual. We'll see how long it takes to come in and out. No, he's into the pit exit now. I mean, his pit box.
Where is he gonna be coming out in relation to the other guys? There's a few guys behind him still running, which he might come into, but
yeah, it's gonna be close actually when he does come out.
And then the next two guys are gonna be a lap behind him, aren't they? So not much to fight for. It's all pretty much all going down the drain a little bit. You could argue, but
it's gonna come out P12.
Still P10, so could be worse. So we're gonna still have a nice
Carlos is P12 now. That's the thing. Paulo Lopez is still driving out there, even though he's a lap down. Aiden Young's come back in, so Aiden did not have enough after that pit stop to make it to the end. That will promote some of the other drivers up a little bit further. He's Harkin still battling it out there at the moment with Mr. Benny. Benny Fudge? Horrible names.
Yeah. Am I reading it wrong? Was Benny having 6 push-to-passes left?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, right.
And he's not using any at the moment to defend from Harkin. And he can.
Similar pace, so it's
9 laps to go.
Really
Harkin has none.
To do anything here.
See if Benny does use it coming out of the final corner and using it down the main straightaway. That's where he's going to get advantage. Remember, the race leader's just in the background there as well, too. Catching him at a pretty rapid pace. Yep. Oh, Benny's used it. Yep, there it is. Benny's used to push the pass right here. You'd expect it, because he's going to make it as difficult as possible there for Harkin to get past. And he has, and he timed it perfectly. Harkin has none, so he can't do anything about this.
But he isn't driving him by that much. So Benny, of course, now only have 5 push-to-passes left, but still, are they going up out on the 52nd lap, I think? So 8 laps left after this one, unless he saves them.
Yeah.
Time manages until the final lap.
He will.
Then,
No doubt I think he would use another one again soon. Andy Tabman has gone in, so he didn't think it.
Hogan trying to set a little bit of a dummy there.
They are going to gain a position here, because I think that, Andy wasn't too far up the road. And at the moment, Denario is just sitting there at the behind them. He's got 7 push passes to go. He's got really no problems, because Kevin Burrell's 8 seconds and change down the road from him. And I think the Mad Dog Racing Team driver is just sitting back there going, you know, it's not worth me risk getting involved in this one and risk losing this race. He's just going to sit there.
He might as well just go into the pit and get a bucket of popcorns and enjoy the battle. That's.
I mean, he's going to be lapping a little bit slower, no doubt, being caught behind them. But Kevin's also not doing some pretty good laps anyway. There's another push to
ending coming out of the pits there.
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay, so he settles behind the race. He's not going to be too much.
Yeah, they were very lucky. Andy did not come out ahead of them. Benito is burning all his push-to-passes, the French driver, but he's...
big twist there from Benny Feach. Is that going to allow Håkon to do anything about it? No. He's still on the tail a little bit behind.
Yeah, Benny did not use the push-to-pass on that last lap, so we'll see if he uses one now. He's got 5 up his sleeve to defend. Yeah.
Gonna be
Denario
for Håkon.
Rishishiti doesn't have to do anything at the moment there. The guy in P1, once again, he's got no threat from behind. He's going to sit back, no doubt, and just watch this one. It's slowing him down only a little bit.
Ooh,
let's spin this.
From Håkon onto Benny. I don't think the stewards are going to be happy about that one. Neither is Benny Feach going to be.
Andy goes back in the pit lane. He just came out.
I just had some telemetry here. Apparently, Doriano's crashed.
Oh, what? Race leader? No. He was behind this.
Okay, well,
he's behind this party.
It's just been.
Have a look on board if you can. Like, you see, because there's a spinner from P4, but But he doesn't.
Ah,
he goes
it
around
broke
them.
really hard. Okay, the braking
Yeah,
triggered my telemetry to say there's a crash.
No, I saw him, and this is the very clever reason why the old dog racing team, the old dog himself, no doubt, was smart, because he wasn't trying to pass him in that battle, right? Because you'd imagine right there, if he was right up on the gearbox at that point there, he could have easily lost the front wing and gone into that spinning car. So I think he was right at the right distance to hang back. See where he's hanging back right now. He's not too tucked up behind Harkin. He's obviously in some parts of the corner here, but look at that. He can easily just put the power down there and try to get an overtake, but he doesn't need to. He's already leading this race.
It's not even using his push to pass.
Staying just enough back, exactly, that he's in a safe distance, so if something does go wrong, he's not going to be risking it. I think it's clear. You know, you can't throw away a race win with 5 to go like that. And once again, he's got 7 push to passes to go.
I think a lot of drivers out on the highways could have been learning something from Doriano here.
Yeah, and it's obviously very, very difficult, isn't it, from Benny? The situation with Benny there.
Yeah. I'd love to see that one again from the onboard of Håkon. Cause
yeah, if we can, please, said director.
I'll certainly try.
Cough.
Oh, I love how they cut the corner through that one.
I haven't had a message yet from race control, but I think it'll be coming up really soon.
Yeah, here it is.
So, coming into the final 6 now.
He just got caught off, I think, didn't he? I mean, well, obviously it's not Harkin here that makes a mistake. He doesn't get contact on Benny, does he? No, I think there is contact. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's definitely contact. Look.
So I wonder why if he doesn't. Oh, he couldn't really lift off to allow him to overtake again through, could he? Because
no, because Benny is already
spun. Yeah,
with the nose into his into the wall. A bit of
we got a race control should be coming out. Probably some sort of message popping up on the screen soon about that one, because that was definitely a contact, and that's a my bad. Now we have seen before the sportsmanship between drivers where they will sometimes, back off and allow the driver to come back through there and say my bad. But once again, in that case you mentioned, there was too much of a spin, too much time would be losing.
Yeah, we actually saw it a little early on with the lap 1 incident we had between Leon and the 63 car. I don't remember who that is, but the guy in the 63 got a penalty, not for the first incident, that's Leon pushing the 63 car a little bit, I believe it was, basically because a lot of people are braking simultaneously, and then it's a small punt, Leon backing off a little bit, letting the guy through again, and then the next corner they collide, unfortunately. But there's some good sportsmanship between all of these drivers. And that's what you get with league racing, isn't it? It's a bit more of a nice environment to be in than an official race. People
you have to, because everybody does it, but everybody, you're going to have contact with another driver. It's inevitable. You're going to be racing at tooth and nail, especially in street circuits and stuff where there's not a lot of space. You're trying to find an overtake, no doubt, as a driver. You're also driving in a very hard simulator to drive, so you don't have any of these kind of cheap kind of racing lines and stuff like that you have in like the Formula 1 game or other games where you can kind of like tells you where to brake and things like that. In this situation, if a driver brakes a little bit earlier than you, then all of a sudden you're in the back of them, and that's just with motor racing. Of course, in the real motor racing, drivers they do the same thing. Like they do say it's my bad, it's my fault, but they're not allowed to. Of course, that's the only problem on television. The teams tell them never to accept the responsibility because, of course, they're going to try to fight it with stewards and marshals and all that sort of stuff. So drivers aren't allowed to really just pat someone on the back and say, look, sorry, it's my fault. That's just because it's media and there's millions of dollars, of course, up for grabs with teams. And so they want to make sure that they can't. But and of course, in our esports driving, we can, because these drivers aren't, don't have to fight with their teams for millions of dollars in salary and stuff like that, so that no problems whatsoever to say.
Also, it's also just that when it is a league like we have right here, it's 10 races we have in a row, so of course you can afford to have 1 or 2 races that's a bit off. As long as you have 8 races, that's pretty decent. You can still manage to get pretty far in the championship.
Yeah, and you will be in contact
if you
with
have
everybody.
a race like last time around where it's a 50-50 who wins, you could have rolled the dice and the outcome would have been just as surprising, really. Can't really
Sometimes
script
it's
it, can you?
difficult too for drivers. A couple laps to go now. It's sometimes difficult for drivers to go because they want to seize an opportunity for an overtake. At some points, you got to realize too that, you know, remember about the championship in the long run. If you gamble right now trying to make an overtake in the dying stages of a race and there's a good chance that you're going to come together with somebody, is it worth you dropping potentially a couple of places with a spin or an accident when you already had these points right there? Of course, they're drivers, they want to go for it, but you see kind of those gambles at the very dying stages of a championship. If there's a couple of points up for grabs and that's it, you know, you've only got one more race to go or some of that, and definitely.
Exactly.
So Donario did use all his push to passes now. He's using one every lap, consistently using another one right now. He's got clean air.
Yeah, there's a few cars up in front, but I think he might just be going for the fastest lap. At this
I think
point,
so.
I'm
Why not?
Sure, who
Yeah.
has it? Yeah, of course. There's 2 laps left, though. There's no reason for him not to try and do anything about it.
I think the fastest lap at the moment is with the French driver currently running in P3.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's a 107.25.
So he's going on to the final lap. You see the white flag has just been waved, which means that he will be using the push pass down the main straight now, coming into the roundabout section. Might see him use his final 2 push to passes as well on this lap. I would be guessing. Don't believe there's an actual zone that you have to use them in. Instead, you can just use them whenever. Of course,
Dane Young on the dying stages here on Tatman. That's the hope to try to get an overtake done there for, of course, there. Benito has been pushing like crazy to try to catch Kevin Burrell in P2, but I'm quite sure there's going to be enough time for that.
Yeah, the leader's
He
coming.
did manage to pull him in, but he really did. Benno had put a lot of good laps in there to finally catch the American, but
Yeah, he was using a push to pass every lap for the past few laps.
Time was not on his side at that point. And there it is. So their leader's going across the line. And Donario.
Doriano
Ricciuti has won Long Beach. And 6 positions gained. And really, strategy 101 for the Italian Old Dog Racing team. As that taught these young dogs a new tricks on how to navigate your way around successfully 60 laps of Long Beach.
Not much competition for the Italians today, was there? Just cruising for most of the final laps behind Håkon and I don't remember who the other guy was. Just chilling out. No, Benny Feets, that's right. Yeah, chilling behind 2 guys, sitting there comfortably with his 7 push to passes.
Well, Paulo Lopez, of course, was in the mix there as well. Kevin Stam early was in the wars. They both had their retirements.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the table was lonely too. His teammate wasn't out there today. That he had he's had his teammate in the first round in Indianapolis.
Who's his teammate?
Can't remember the other Italian driver's name.
Ah.
I'm waiting for my thunderstorm to start cracking down here in Panama because it's been a hot day and it's overdue.
Overdue for storm.
Yeah, there it is. I'd like to read through those results for us, Seb, please.
Oh, this is qualifying we are showing right now.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Good one. Well spotted.
Right, do I try to put you all the names and take us
you
through
do
it? All right, let me just get them up so I can actually read all of the names then. We have P1, of course, I would say, oh, my screen is going completely...
Yeah, I just made it bigger for you. There you go.
Yeah, it's just completely pixel for me. I can't read.
Okay, it's alright.
I got it on my phone now. So P1, it is Richardson, Doriano Richardson, of course, comfortably 7.5 seconds in front of Kevin Birrell. Then it's Binotti Favre, Håkon Krebsland, P4, incredible recovery for the Norwegian, might be a little bit of a penalty for him later on, but we'll have to see about that one. Robin Duhamel, Alexis Richardson, Kevin Simiant, Benefic P8, Andy Tadman, and Aiden Young rounding out in P9 and 10. Then there's Silvio Lassa, Carlos Fernandez, Alaris Boss, and then I think we're gonna go into the people that retired early on. Paulo Lopez, he's 11 laps behind, and then Kevin Stam, Matteo Lemray, Liam Kerr, Zach Amador, and then we start to get into people being 50 plus laps behind, so haven't updated for me the last couple of runners, but don't think that they want me to mention their name either way. But lovely race. I'll have to say it's a little bit of carnage at the beginning stages, a safety car. But that actually pretty clean. I'll have to say it's not a 14 caution race as some may.
Was that what it was last?
I've heard it was
last
14.
week.
I stopped counting.
Well, that's because we needed a safety car for the safety car, and this time around, as it was binned into the fence, they had tried to get a GTE car around that tight corner.
I've heard rumors that an Indycar punted him into the wall. A certain Ericsson.
So, are we going to hear from any of our race drivers?
I'm working on it now.
I'll try to see if this.
Yep, here comes the rain. I knew it was going to come down heavy. Once it's a really hot day, and then that cold air from the mountains hits that hot, warm air, then bang, it's going to bucket down about 5,000 liters of water.
Oh, there's actually a little interesting one. I don't think it has been shown on the stream, but it's a 10-second post-race time penalty for the 94. And that is, of course, Håkon Krebsland. So, from my calculations, let's see. That's not
10
sure
second
lap
penalty
time.
will lose out with to Robin.
Yeah, I think it'll only drop one position, right?
Yeah, one position because Alex was a lap down.
So still P5 finish, but yeah, one would guess if Benny would have been able to keep that position in front of Håkon, having was it 7 push to passes? I think he had left at the before the incident there. But,
True.
Much else changing.
I'm still curious about Carlos, who did finish the race though, Carlos Fernandez, but Carlos did end up using his push to passes towards the end, but I was just curious why he didn't use those push to passes when he was under that massive attack there from Benny and Aiden, I think it was. No, Silvio, somewhere around there. Just checking, see if we get any drivers in for a quick interview, quick chat. All right. I don't think we're going to get anybody. So, well, Long Beach does produce. It's that early safety car with that 4 cars or 5 car accident that caused a couple of those drivers to get some early damage there and have retired from the session. And we still had a hurl of drivers that managed to finish the race, of course, and get crucial points in the championship. And just so curious, where are we heading next week? Mr. Race Director.
Should be an oval, right?
Back to an oval, I'd say.
Yeah. We'll try and
On screen right now, there you go. Next week we're going over to Belle Isle. 50 laps on Belle Isle, another street circuit, I believe.
That is another street circuit.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be a bit cleaner than the last 2 races. but I'm sure people will learn as we go further into the league session. Also, we actually have the safety car. So standing still a little bit. Safety car. Hitting the wall once again.
Bella, of course, then you go to the mighty ovals of ovals, of course, is the Indycar.
Should we do a quick shout out for the TCR race tomorrow then? While we're at it. Might as well going to Donington, I believe. And as usual, it's 30-minute qualifying, then it's 2 15-minute races. The second one being a reverse grid of the top 8, from race 1. So a bit shorter races, but produces a lot of great battles on track. Usually a lot of fun, both to watch and to drive. So
excellent, thank you very much
for that one.
So, yep, that's has the Beanie Anti-Store Racing IndyCar Series. That is round 3 wrapped up next week, of course. Tune in for Belle Isle on Monday, of course, for the next of this week. You're going to tune in for all the other motor racing and any store racing presented on this YouTube channel. I have been Mr. Dean Biggles, Zinger Burger Biggles. Still haven't had a Zinger Burger since Le Mans race that we had any store racing, but I've been joined, of course, by Niels next to me and our fantastic director and caster there of Gerald. So everybody stay safe, of course. Have a good evening and night wherever you are in the world. We'll see you again for more anti-store racing. Bye-bye.